And same thing with you, Chief. So just a minute. Oops. Oops. We have is someone just joining right now? Good morning, Lel, Nikki. Who are you with? Lel, Nikki.
Are you saying Mickey? I'm with the Canadian Press.
Okay, good. Thanks. Okay. All right. I am going ahead and recording.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Okay, good morning, everyone. We'll get started. So we're going to start off with the speakers, and then we'll move into questions. From there, I'll ask the speakers to give some final closing remarks, and then we'll wrap it up. So to begin, we'll have 4 speakers, starting with Chief Fabian, head of Red Earth Cree Nation, Chief Marcel, head of Shoal Lake Cree Nation, and then RCMP Sergeant Richard Tonge with the Carrot River Detachment. And then we'll end off with some remarks from Cliff Bittner. And Cliff is PAGC's Director of Emergency Protective Services. And he'll be giving some comments about the search teams in place. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Chief Fabian Head.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank the media for joining us today. I also thank Tina as well for coordinating the media update today. Today is April 29th. It is day 11 of the search. The search is continuing. To date, we've had 200 volunteers, 13 crews searching over the course of the search. We have covered approximately 92 square kilometers. As we approach the weekend, additional volunteers will be needed as our volunteer search crews are getting tired, and we welcome any outside resources as well. We ask anybody, any volunteers that want to come to Red Earth to contact our emergency response coordinator, Alistair Nawakias at 401-8124. Today, as well, on the Red Earth Cree Nation, we have a funeral that's beginning at 11 a.m. So our update will be brief today for that purpose. So thank everyone. On behalf of the family, we are thankful for all the resources that we are getting and the support. The many thoughts and prayers that have been coming in are certainly comforting, and we're all impacted in a way, in so many ways, and we're just thankful. We ask you to continue praying for Frank and the family of Frank Young. Thank you. Tina?
Thank you, Chief. Okay, I'll get over now to Chief Marcel, head of Shoal Lake Cree Nation. Okay, I don't think he's online right now, so I will ask RCMP Sergeant Richard Tonge to say to give a statement. Sergeant Tonge.
I'm Sergeant Richard Tonge,
I am the Carrot River RCMP Detachment Commander. The search for Frank Young continues. We've experienced warm weather this week, so we've been able to search some new areas as the snow and ice melt. We've been working closely with Chief Head and the Emergency Response Committee, following up on any possible leads and conducting targeted searches. For instance, we received a report of a discarded blue jacket at the north end of the community. We were able to locate it and quickly meet with Frank's family and determine that it did not belong to him. Also, our partners at the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency are using some Argos, amphibious all-terrain vehicles, to search muskeg areas near the playground and the north end of the community that are too wet right now to search by foot. Finally, we are grateful to our many partners and volunteers that continue to work with us to locate Frank. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant. Okay, next I'm going to turn it over to Cliff Bittner.
Good morning, Tina. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Tina?
Sorry, yes, I can hear you. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I just want to acknowledge the RCMP and the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency and the relationship developed between Red Earth Cree Nation and the task at hand, I guess, in searching for a lost child, which pulls at the heartstrings of everybody involved. I just want to acknowledge the commitment by a lot of resources that have come into the community to support this search. I don't want to offend anybody if I miss someone. I know there are a lot of people from other jurisdictions or other First Nations that are participating, and in terms of the Lac La Ronge Indian Band and their search group, Kakawistahau, the Swampy Cree communities and their employees that are all participating in this, as well as other agencies from other jurisdictions that have come in, the Bear Clan Patrol and also Wolf Clan Patrol. It's overwhelming to see this much support for the community at this time, that people leave their jobs or at the drop of a dime would come and assist, and this support is not going away. We are committed to our organization and our relationships with our communities to continue the search no matter what. That's all I have to say. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you, Cliff. Okay. I will open it up to questions. I'm going to put you on mute here. Okay, so if you want to raise your hand, or if you want to put your question in the message, the conversation box, then and then I can read your question. So go ahead. Any questions? Okay, so I have a question from the Star Phoenix. Oh, okay. And yes to APTN. You have permission to record. Okay, so the question from the Star Phoenix is: has the search for Frank expanded into other nearby communities? If so, which ones? So this could be this would be a question for Sergeant Tonge.
We haven't conducted any ground searches or aerial searches of any other communities. There have been inquiries made out on Shoal Lake with extended family members for any possible places we should look for Frank. And as I've said before, we're receiving tips from Edmonton, Red Deer, different communities. We've been liaising with their police forces to investigate those tips thoroughly, and all these tips have been discounted as being frank at this time.
I have a question from the Canadian Press. Is there any evidence to suggest what happened to Frank?
As far as the police investigation goes, we haven't uncovered any physical evidence of what's happened to Frank. We're relying on our witness statements, and through the witness statements, we have the family last seen Frank at his home at noon on April 19th. And we have a witness statement placing Frank at the playground on the north end of the community at 2:30 p.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. on April 19th.
Thank you. I am just writing Cliff's contact information in the chat box. Or, I mean, his title. Okay, the next question is from Dan Jones with NBC. Have searchers recovered any evidence belonging to Frank?
No, searchers have not recovered any evidence belonging to Frank.
Yes. That would be a question for you, Sergeant. Sorry, was that question clear?
I'm sorry, Tina. Can you repeat the question?
Okay. So this question is from NBC. Have searchers recovered any evidence belonging to Frank?
No, searchers have not recovered any evidence belonging to Frank.
Okay, the next question, and this is from CB or CTV to everyone. Does the scope of the search change as time goes on? Are door-to-door searches still necessary, or does it shift to water searches, etc.?
We have been focusing primarily on the area south of the parents' house, also to the north side of the community as well, where the playground is located. So those are the two, and as well along the river as well. So.
Thank you, Chief. Another question from Nikki with the Canadian Press, and this is for Chief Head. Many in the public are raising concerns because there hasn't been an Amber Alert issued. Is the First Nations or FSIN calling for an Amber Alert?
Yes, the FSIN and Prince Albert Grand Council, along with the Red Earth First Nation, have been in contact with the provincial and federal representatives on the Amber Alert, and the response we are getting is that it has to fit a criteria in order to activate the Amber Alert.
Thank you. I have a question from Derek Craddock with PNL. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. This question likely is for Chief Fabian Head. I'm just very curious how the community is doing right now. This has been almost 2 weeks since this disappearance. You talked about the family, but I'm just curious, just how is the community doing overall as the search continues?
Well, as I stated before, since April 17th, Easter Sunday, that's the day we had lost one of our elders as well. And we've had 3 deaths in the community since then, along with the search for Frank, and obviously it's taken an emotional toll on the members. The grief and loss is obviously impacting us, and we Red Earth and Shoal Lake Cree Nation, our people, we are resilient, and we come together in times like this to support one another. And with it's the words of our elders that encourage us and give us those words of comfort that we are thankful for. Thank you.
Okay, so I have a couple more questions. This one's from APTN. A TikTok video says footprints have been found. Can you respond to that, Sergeant?
During the course of the search, many footprints have been found. We can't say they belong to Frank. We have to remember Frank went missing on April 19th. The police responded just after 4 p.m. and started searching along with the local community members. By 11:30 that night, we were facing blizzard conditions. By the next morning, I would estimate we had at least 1.5 inches of snow. So any footprints found after that time are very hard to say they belong to Frank. And of course, we're still in a community with many young children, so small footprints around houses or in different areas, they don't automatically belong to Frank Young.
Thank you. I have a question from the Canadian Press for Sergeant Tonge. What's the criteria for an Amber Alert? Why hasn't the RCMP issued one?
Yes, we've discussed this in the past. The main criteria for an Amber Alert is we have to have confirmed evidence of an abduction, and it could be a stranger abduction, parental abduction, or abduction by another family member. And we have to have a concern for the safety of the child. We don't have evidence of those things happening in this case, and therefore no Amber Alert has been issued. It has been discussed at various levels, and at this time, criteria has not been met, and an Amber Alert has not been issued.
Okay, Dan, does that answer your first question? Dan Jones? Okay, so Dan Jones's second question is this search now a recovery effort?
It is still a rescue mission.
Obviously, as days go by, our concern for Frank grows. We're in day 11 of this intensive search, and each passing day, each passing hour, our concern continues to intensify. With that being said, our resolve hasn't changed, our commitment hasn't changed, and our goal is to find Frank Young and bring him back to his family.
Okay, I have a question from the Star Phoenix. So again, have there been discussions with SPSA for using the Provincial Emergency Alert System to broadcast information about Frank since an Amber Alert is not being issued?
SPSA has issued a SASC alert. April 20th, 10:20 a.m. I had discussions and they put it up on their SASC alert. 2 days later, SPSA contacted the RCMP, asked if we still wanted the SAS alert information up. We said yes. And yesterday I received further contact from SPSA, and yes, they've agreed to keep the information up on their website and keep it updated.
Okay, thank you, Sergeant. Okay, I'm just looking to see if any hands are up. I see none. I'm scrolling through the chat box. I think we covered all of the questions. Do we have any more questions? Okay, we have one, yes, from CTV. Go ahead. Who do volunteers reach out to again? Chief Head?
You can contact our emergency response coordinator, Alistair Nawakias. I do believe Tina has that information in the chat box. We are continuing to search for Frank. We are not giving up. We will do whatever it takes to find Frank and bring him home. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. I don't know if I have the contact information. Do you mind texting the name, her full name to me, and then I'll pass it on. Okay, so I have another question here. Okay, so this is to the Sergeant. Are there any working theories that there may be a criminal element here, given there is no evidence, or given that no evidence has been found?
Yeah, that speaks to it. There is no evidence of what happened to Frank. We can't rule out criminal involvement. We can't absolutely rule out abduction, but there's no evidence to support a criminal act is taking place. There's no evidence to support an abduction is taking place. We continue to follow up on all leads, no matter how small they are, no matter where they're located or where they come from in the country. We've received excellent cooperation from other police forces, making follow-up on these tips a priority. So we've been able to very quickly roll them out.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think that's it. I think we can call it a wrap. I guess I'll go back to you, Chief Head. Did you have any final closing remarks?
As I said before, that on behalf of the family, on behalf of the Red Cree Nation, we are thankful for the continued response, support. Continue to ask you for your thoughts and your prayers as well. Power is powerful. Prayer is powerful. So, and thank you.
Sergeant Tonge, any final words, final remarks?
As the chief said, we're still continuing to search. Any help is much appreciated. Any volunteers that come out, we can definitely put them on teams and make use of their time.
And I'll hand it over to you, Cliff. Any final words?
Just a comment in respect to our commitment to continue the search and work with our First Nation from our organization and any other organizations that want to participate in this search. Appreciate all the work that everybody's doing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Cliff. And thank you, Chief Sergeant Tonge and Cliff, for joining us today. So just some final things before I end the call. I put some more photos in the Dropbox the other day, and as soon as we're finished here, I'll put this recording in there as well. Our next scheduled meeting is Tuesday, so unless there's unless we have some new developments, and yeah, and then I'll get back to you on Monday as soon as I'll get back to you on a time, and I'll send that out on Monday when I send out the invite. Okay, so thank you everyone, and let's keep Frank.